Hello there, everyone. Welcome to the Gen Z Voices podcast. This is where we give early career professionals a place to share their hopes and aspirations about the future of work. In terms of format, those of you who know us well, we ask the same 5 questions of all of our guests. And it's just my distinct pleasure today to welcome Jean-Pierre Fahkhy to our call. Jean-Pierre is joining us from the Lebanon. Um, Jean-Pierre, tell us a little bit about you. How long have you been working? What industry sectors are you working in?
Hello everyone. Hello Sarah. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. Yes, so basically, as you mentioned, my name is Jean-Pierre Fahkhy, and I work as a lead AI engineer. So I work in the AI industry, and I'm also a university lecturer where I also teach basically AI courses and so on here in Lebanon. And yeah, that's mainly it. All of my focus is mainly on AI.
Fantastic. And how long have you been working, Jean-Pierre?
Yes, so I've been in the field for the last I think 5 years since ever since I graduated or a bit earlier. I've been fully focused on AI. Since back then I just felt that that's where things are going. So it was a good bet.
I think so. University lecturer already in your career.
Yeah.
Congratulations. And
Thank you.
as we were talking earlier, you really need a learning mindset to be successful in the AI sector.
Yeah, definitely. You need to be really up to date with the latest trends that are happening nowadays because what I learned 5 years ago is no longer applicable or basically is not that important, let's say.
Hmm.
So you need to be very up to date with the latest technologies in the AI
Yes,
field.
fantastic. Well, I would like to kick off with our question, Jean-Pierre, if that's okay with
Sure,
you.
let's go ahead.
Tell me about one thing that you've experienced in today's work culture that feels out of sync with how you operate or your value system.
Sure, I think that's a great question, and I think the first thing that comes to mind is to talking a bit about the return to office culture and
Mm,
let's call it the fully in office jobs. Here, really, my take on this is very simple. So if the impacts happens basically at 10 a.m. or at 10 p.m., why does it really matter? So just something to mention that I'm not anti-office. I like all of the whiteboards, the kickoff calls, and even the time with the team. But like a strict be here every day rule feels like basically control with little to no impact really.
mm,
Now this is just for me. I'm talking as an AI professional, and really AI work sometimes need a huge amount of deep focus. So 45 to 60-minute commute and sometimes even more for other people and really a loud floor, they don't really help. So, for example, really, this is something usually about myself. So, my best work really happens in long, quiet blocks, sometimes early in the morning, sometimes late at night. And really, it's different for each person. It really depends on how comfortable they are or how they can find focus. So, I really believe that the hybrid system is the best. So, if a
mm-hmm.
presence is needed, come in like for user study, for example, or like a demo day, or anything really that needs their presence. However,
Yes.
I feel like the rest can be async, so asynchronous.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um,
So I'm hearing
how
a couple of things there. I'm hearing that you've got a big focus on return on investment of your time. And I'm also hearing that allow the workplace to adapt to when I'm at my best or based on how I work, given the demands that have on placed
exactly,
on my time. Hmm. Hmm.
exactly. However, one thing to mention is that some roles must be on site. Like for example, hardware, laboratories, customer-facing
Yes.
stuff. But really, for software and AI roles, AI research and stuff like that, you need to really focus on measuring what matters. So, for example, did we ship a product? Did the reliability improve? Did users feel the changes? Not basically how many
Hmm.
days were you in, because really that's what matters at the end of the day. Uh, that's what matters for the business as a whole.
Clear, clear.
Um,
Now, if you could redesign one part of how companies work from scratch, it could be meetings, it could be hierarchy, it could be perhaps how you're onboarded, what would you change first and why?
yeah, I think that's a nice question. So for me, basically, I would really redesign how we handle incidents. For me, my rule for my team is very simple. We need to fix the system, not the person. So for example, when something breaks, we need to stay like calm. We need to talk about what happened without really going and having like this blame culture.
Mm,
uh, we need to focus on asking basically how the system let this slip, maybe a missing test or like a noisy alert, not basically who to punish, and basically having this mindset.
mm,
Uh, then basically we make these small fixes, we learn from them. As long as we learn from them, it's all fine, and basically move on.
yeah,
Uh, and really here, trust, I think, is the key to having this. So if you're someone on my team, let's say, I will definitely trust you. And people here should feel let's say safe to come and say, I pushed a bad change, or I missed that
right.
problem
Hmm.
or something. And
Yeah.
really here, honesty really helps us learn fast. And while, for example, fear hides the truth. So it's
Mm.
counterintuitive for the long goal.
It really is. The work from Amy Edmondson on psychological safety in the workplace is pretty categoric on that. You mentioned
I agree.
trust. Um, how do you decide personally? How do you decide to trust, whether it's a company or a manager? How do you decide whether you trust someone?
Really, to be honest, it's really simple. So first, like the say do match. So for example, if you say you'll do something, do it basically. Like for example, go
Yeah.
ahead and push when you said you'd push something, or you'd finish this feature, or basically come and tell me that it's slipping, and why. Basically, these promises that turn into actions, this is something that builds trust really, really fast.
Mm,
I think secondly also honesty when it's bad news. So as I mentioned, like own the bad news, no spin. And if a change broke or something, like just come and say it as is.
yeah.
If a goal was missed, just come and say it. It's fine. As I mentioned, we want a culture where people feel comfortable to come and say whatever is happening, so that we can directly go ahead and fix it and have this problem managed. And then you can come and tell us, okay, this happened. I will do this as a next step to fix it.
Hmm.
So here,
Hmm.
this having this ownership really beats any sort of perfect result, because perfect results, let's be honest, they rarely exist
We
with
all
us
have bad
humans.
days, right? We
Yeah,
all
exactly.
sometimes aren't at our best or make mistakes. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. Same like for the leaders and like for companies, they have to keep their words on anything really. Like for example, I know like promotions, work policy, and stuff like that. Uh, Basically, also owning up to their mistakes and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, even leaderships will make mistakes. Uh, Anyone would.
Yeah.
So basically, in my opinion, do what you said you would,
Yes.
and be honest when it's hard. And this is how I think someone can really basically get the trust uh, of their colleagues.
Super clear. Yes. Yes. And you've been in the workplace a little while now. Um, what kind of leadership do you wish you saw more of?
Yeah. So here I would like to have, like there are multiple things that I would like to see, let's say. So first of all, builders who are leaders. So people with real, again, this is something related to my field, to AI. So people with real product and tech depth. So people who can directly jump into a code review or like the whiteboard and help unblock whatever the team is having, not just ask for status updates or stuff like that.
Yes.
This is something that really, really helps, uh, especially for the team to feel comfortable that, okay, we have someone in case something, falls short or
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. I
Mm-hmm.
think Also, secondly, they need to be really kind and clear nowadays. Uh, Really, they need to have like the high standards and so on, but also human at the end of the day. Uh, like for example, saying the hard things directly, but not harshly, because at the
Mm,
end of the day, what good does it give being harsh on someone? So making it safe for the people to speak up and safe to learn for the whole team, and really being kind in general goes a long way
mhm,
in leadership, especially when you have a big team of, let's say, engineers that you're working with. Being kind really pushes the whole team forward, and this is from experience. Uh,
mhm. So I'm
and
hearing a couple of key themes there, if I can just interrupt very quickly.
for
So,
sure,
um, so there's something about not being above the work, not particularly value added to just ask for status update, have the ability to come down and perhaps debug, problem solve, get your hands
yeah, yeah, yeah,
dirty,
yeah,
as well as
exactly.
leading the team is the kind of first part I heard. And then there's this theme about being kind. Kindness might not be hiding the bad news, but delivering it in a way that is
That just
empathetic. Is
kind.
that kind of kind? Yeah.
Exactly,
Hmm.
exactly, exactly. It really helps just make everyone, feel the trust that we just spoke about, because it helps
Yes.
everyone just feel like they're a part of the same team. They're all together against the problem, not
Mm.
one person against the other. It would remove all of these uh, politics that sometimes happen in companies.
Hmm.
So it really can help with that. And I think really, thirdly, something that's very important, it's someone like a leader who can have like a calm planning trait. So basically having like real roadmaps and someone who can just plan the work so the team don't live always in like this emergency mindset,
Right.
let's say,
Yes.
you know?
Yeah.
So not the panic style, like not the last minute task dumps because
Hmm.
timelines weren't managed properly by that leader, let's say. And this will directly burn all the trust and the quality that the
Yes.
team has. Uh, so yeah, this is what I
Mm.
feel is
Hmm.
the best kind of
Yes,
leadership.
we have enough of our life on emergency mode. Let's not make that the default setting, it
Exactly.
sounds like. Yes, yes.
Exactly. Exactly.
And then one from last question, which is, in what ways do you think a company should invest in you, in your growth?
Yeah, so how should a company invest in my growth? I think two things really in here. So first, really it's time and budget to learn. So basically giving people, let's say, a few hours every week on the clock to
Hmm.
study for something they care for that will help them upskill themselves, like whether be it courses, books, or any sort of, for my case, like tech conferences or stuff like that. It will bring basically the learnings back to the team. It will pay
Yep.
dividends later on. So, so learning every week and not just when it's needed for like a specific task. And that way the team will stay up to date with the latest technologies in their field, and they can basically build better and up-to-date products that will be easier to sell in the future. So it's a win-win situation, really.
Mm, hmm.
Um, and I really think, secondly, a real feedback habit. So, for example, like either monthly or like quarterly one-on-ones with like clear notes. So, like, for example, what went well, what to improve, and basically one next step. Like no surprises at the annual reviews. That happens sometimes, and people
Mm,
think they're doing really well and they get surprised.
this happens a
Uh,
lot. Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
exactly. And it should be just a summary, like the annual reviews should just be like a summary of the whole other one-on-ones that were made throughout the year.
Hmm.
So do this, and I really think not just for me, I think investment, this is an important investment from the company that will grow faster, ship better, and the team will get stronger too in this. Really.
Mm, hmm. Hmm. And I think it also feeds back to trust, right? That if someone
It
takes
all
the
goes back to
time
trust.
to note down things that you've done well, things that you can improve upon, next steps, this generates trust because they're showing them to be accountable for you
I fully
as an
agree.
employee. Yeah,
I
yeah.
fully agree. I think it all comes back to trust, really. If there's
Mm-hmm.
a mutual trust, you can go a long way when building products, specifically in technology and AI, really.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's very needed because there are a lot of collaborations that are needed to happen. And you need the hand-in-hand team to just go and go full on to the
Mm.
problem.
Jean-Pierre, what a wonderful set of insights that you shared with me. Thank you so much for your time. Before we go, is there any last things you'd like to share on this topic?
No, thank you so much. Thank you, Sarah. It was a pleasure
The
being
thanks
here.
is all mine. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Jean-Pierre. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye bye.